So in this video, guys, it's pretty much just tackle talk, rod selection, tackle lure selection for July, and what I really have planned for the next fishing outing, right? And so the next event that I have is Greenhorn event number 3, and that's gonna be at Cross Pokegama, but I'm not gonna be there. Me and Sam are not gonna be participating in that Greenhorn event, which is this Sunday. So yeah, I'm not gonna be there. Me and my boy, we're not gonna be there. And the reason is because my wife's family has like a Hmong. So there's a large event in Minnesota in the Twin Cities called like the Hmong soccer tournament, for you guys who don't know. But if you're Hmong, or you know, maybe you're aware of that, in the metro there's like a big soccer tournament, and they do it every year at Como Park. And so the last few years, my wife's family been helping out over there, doing as a food vendor over there, you know. So if you guys want to stop by J4 and look for Yang Brothers Barbecue. I'm gonna be there grilling and chilling and literally just working. So if you guys want to see me, I'm gonna be wearing the Bindee Vang fishing hat too. So if you guys see me, be like, hey, I want a picture of you. So come through, we'll take some pictures, talk fishing. If I even see you guys, I'm gonna be in the back. But if you guys see me, don't be afraid to give me the eye contact and just, you know, wave hi or whatever, because I know a lot of you guys are obviously, you know, Hmong, and you guys will be there as well. So just say what's up. You guys want a picture or talk about fishing or just buy some food, that's cool. I'm gonna be at it. It's called Yang Brothers Barbecue, and it's called Site SS. So I really don't know what Site SS is, but I'll post up some Instagram, Facebook stories about it. But I'll be there this weekend, so if you guys want to, you know, come by and talk fishing or whatever, I'll be there and we can chit chat. But the next event that we have is Greenhorn number 3, again, Cross Pokegama. We're not gonna be there, so I'm not too worried about that event. But let me just climb up here so it has a better proportion on the camera. Got up here. Yeah, so I really don't think that I'm gonna be needing any rods that are like super like long, because right here you see is the 7.4 medium light from Halo HFX. And I really like this rod for using, like, you know, this little tiny little booger here. You guys see that? That's called the Imo Kemushi. And Imo Kemushi is a great fishing lure from G-Crack. But the hardest thing about it is that it's almost impossible to obtain. It's good, it's small, it breaks quite often. But here's what I have it on right here, if you guys are wondering. You guys see that? It's just a wacky hook. This is I believe this is the, whatchamacallit? What's it called again? Red line. Sorry, yeah. Red line. Red line, and I have a Nico hack, pierces right to the Imo Kemushi, and then I Nico rig it weightless. So it's an excellent, you know, presentation, very good for smallmouth bass. This is the 60 size. But the hardest thing about this bait is just getting it in your hands. So this is kind of like your fuzzy Japanese hairy baits kind of presentation. My buddies told me last year about it, how great it was. I just never really got on that hype train until I found out about how it works. And I'm like, wow, it's really good. It's like the Senko, it's like the wacky worm, but for smallmouth bass. And I heard it works really good for largemouth bass too, especially like the 90 size. I mean, you know, one of my buddies, he was like, hey, you're late on that, dude. It's already been around. I'm like, yeah, I probably am late, but you know, it is what it is. I don't care. But I don't think I'm gonna be using this for my next fishing event that I'm gonna be going to. So it's not gonna be Cross Pokegama. The next one I'm going to is Green Lake. Green Lake, and it's going to be Green Lake Princeton. Green Lake Princeton is a pretty good lake. I have a lot of my fishing peers that fish that lake. They keep telling me to not talk about that lake because they say it's really good and not to expose it or whatever. But here I am talking about it. So it was never really intended to expose lakes. It's just more of just like documenting lakes. The only times I don't expose a lake is if it's my friend's lake and it's like a lake that he told me about and only me and him and only a few friends know about it, and it's like a secret. No lake is a secret, but it's like it's not a very public tournament lake by all means. It's like oh yeah, it's a lake like in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm not gonna be a dumbass and just expose that kind of spot, like, cause that's exposing. But this, when I'm going to fish at like a tournament lake, like White Bear Lake, or these lakes that are huge and they're like publicly posted on like bass fishing forums, high school forums, like, oh, we're fishing at this set of trails this year, and people are like, you are exposing this lake. I'm like, exposing, bro? I'm not exposing, I'm just documenting it. You know, it's just like when they go on the Bassmaster Elite Series and they're telling everyone that they're going to all these lakes and whatever, you know. So it's a big tournament lake. It's just the internet knowing about it, and I don't see much harm. If you guys don't like it, feel free to dislike the video. Or if you guys don't care, then I guess join my side of the things where we don't really care about anything. And the next rod here is my mid-strolling rod. I'm definitely gonna have this thing tied on for July, for sure, because as we're reaching at the end of June here, I'm thinking a lot of these fish are gonna be pushed offshore. Right here I have the Halo HFX 7.1 medium light. For sure, I'm gonna have this on. I think the mid-stroll bite can turn on depending on what lake you're on. It's not always a guaranteed thing, because if the fish are not set up offshore, it's pretty much useless unless you're gonna use it to work weed lines. But this year, I haven't really found anything really effective using that for that technique. Most of the time, I just have not been getting bit with it. So I've been using a lot of more like finesse applications, like Nico rigging, really just pinpointing and fishing like at the end of a weed line and really just getting those fish to bite. It seems to be effective for me this year. I'm using a lot of Megabass sleeper crawl this year too, as you guys could see in my past few videos. I really like that bait. It's expensive, it's elastomer, it lasts long, it comes out of rocks pretty easily, it skips like a dream. But the only thing that if the hook gets dull, you run the chance of not catching that fish, you know? And so I'm gonna definitely have that on. You guys can't see it here because I have everything wrapped up, but this is the Metanium DC alongside the Halo BB jig rod. Excellent jig rod. I get this stuff like stuck in rocks all the time, and I'm like literally like trying to break the rod and break it out, and it never broke on me. But for sure, I'm gonna have to swap out this one. Currently on my, let me see what it is. Oh, my Twin Power. Like, this is the new Twin Power, if you guys are wondering. So Shimano Twin Power, this is the new one that came out like not too long ago. Dude, it's super sweet. It's super smooth. The infinity drive when you're reeling in, it just makes everything like so perfectly when you're wrapping the reel. I'm gonna take out this Emo Kemushi. I was doing a guide trip out there, taking my taking out you know, younger anglers out there fishing. So if you guys want to get on a relaxed trip or something, you really want to catch some giant smallmouth bass, check out my website, and if you're interested, send me a message and we can work out a deal or something. But I have an Emo Kemushi right here that we were using to scope out fish, and I'm gonna cut it off. On this rig, I'm gonna tie a drop shot, because as we're heading into the months of July, the month of July and August, it's really gonna be an offshore deal, and I really feel like that offshore weed line is really gonna get really good, because that's when a lot of those fish are really going to push out deep, especially in the next lake that we're fishing. And so I don't think that I'm really gonna be using a weightless Emo Kemushi at that lake, so I'm gonna cut it off, tie on a drop shot. I'm gonna switch out the rod too, and I'm gonna put in my Halo BB scope rod. Fantastic backbone of that rod, so that's gonna be great. For sure, I'm gonna have the jig on too as well. This is a net bait jig, and I have a net bait trailer in the back. Secret's out now. People already know about bait fuel, but all these baits that I use have bait fuel infused already, so they already have that scent dispersion right away. So as soon as you're making those casts, that bait's down there just working, that scent is just releasing from the bait fish, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, does the scent work? Does it not work? I'd rather have that extra 25% of the scientifically proven scent to really entice a fish to bite, you know? Because I've caught a lot of fish with scent and without scent, and I can't say that it's going to make a difference or not, but if something's going to give you more confidence when you're fishing unfamiliar waters or when fishing is tough, you want to make yourself feel the best you can to catch the most fish. So why not? And I don't think I'm going to be using this much, guys. So I had this rigged up when we were at Lake Vermilion. This is a Corrado with my HFX 610 medium, and I have a big topwater bait right here. This is the kick knocker. I didn't catch a lot of fish at Lake Vermilion with it, which was a disappointment. I was really hoping to see a lot of fish come up and just crush it, but that didn't happen, you know. So it is what it is. I'm gonna take that off. I currently have like a 50-pound braid to FG knot, 50-pound braid to a 15-pound monofilament. I'm gonna snip it off, and I'm gonna put this back onto one of my heavy flipping HFX rods and use that for, like, you know, whatchamacallit, Tokyo rig. So Tokyo rig hasn't been talked about for a while, but I still have a few of those rigged up where you can easily slide in and out of, you know, milfoil. And that's perfect right now too, as we're heading into July. A lot of these milfoil and deeper weeds are starting to grow more and more. We kind of have like a cool rainy week this week, but as it gets hot again, a lot of those deeper weeds are really growing more and more. So I'm thinking we might get some good offshore bite coming soon. Deep weed line, deep jig, deep drop shot, deep jig worm. If not, people are already doing that. I know I talked to some friends on Instagram and asking how they do on tournaments, and people say that they're doing good already, you know, drop shotting out deep and whatnot, but I haven't really had that pattern because I just have not been fishing a deeper lake with deep weed lines. I've been just fishing like shallow lakes. The last lake I was fishing tournamentally was Knife Lake, and Knife Lake is a shallow, dirty topwater lake, and you know, I didn't do drop shot was not gonna help anything there. People who want it were fishing the frog, and I think as we head into July, I don't know if I'm gonna have a frog tied on. I'm gonna try to focus really hard on deep weed lines because I know that's where a lot of the post spawn transition is really going to transition into the summer pattern. And so I believe that if you're fishing out deep, you're gonna get the opportunity to catch a lot of big fish, especially when you're fishing these lakes that are like tournament fishing lakes, you know. If you're fishing lakes that are just like your small ponds and your small little lakes where it's not a tournament lake by all means, you're probably still gonna catch fish on top water. You're probably gonna catch fish on, you know, junk fishing, milfoil, swim jigging, swim baiting, or whatnot. Most definitely, I'm not using this in July. I don't think so, unless you guys prove me wrong. What do you guys think? Swim bait, glide baits in summer pattern for largemouth bass? I don't know. My buddy Sam said that you guys know Sam, right? Sam Moore, my partner that fishes with me, he used to fish a lot with big baits all the time, and it just doesn't work. Like, I mean, you would catch a fish, but it's like you would catch a fish and it's usually like a pike, you know? But I'm sure there's guys out there who are glide bait fishermen, swim bait fishermen who can disagree, but I'm not that good. I don't know if I'm gonna have it tied on, but I will be practicing at Green Lake soon, so I'm gonna really have all these rods on deck and really trying to dial it down. I did go there like last year. I got like, I think like a 16-pound bag. Nothing too crazy. You're gonna need at least like 17, 18 pounds to win. I'm just fishing it with a small private club with just my fishing buddies, and it's not like we're fishing against like some really good guys. We're just fishing with a bunch of good buddies, and we're gonna go up there, and I think it should be fun. I think it should be fun for sure. I'm gonna have the jig tied on to work deep, depending on conditions. You know, obviously drop shot, you gotta have a drop shot in the summertime. I'm thinking Nico rig is gonna be my other one. Mid strolling, I don't know if I'm gonna be fishing, and if I see fish on my forward facing sonar that seems to be in the right position for me to be able to cast to them and even provide the right presentation, then yes, I think it's gonna be good for that. But for the most part, I don't think it's gonna be the bite on that lake. Unless I'm wrong. I will go find out. But that's it. Just a 17-minute long video about me talking about tackle. Yeah, so if you guys enjoy this type of video where I kind of just sit down and really talk about patterns and stuff, let me know what you think. Leave a thumbs up, watch the video, comment something down below. What would you guys like to see next? But I think this is pretty fun. I'm actually surprised I'm able to talk this long too about just fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing. But yeah, that's my baits. I'm gonna get re-rigged up here a little bit more, but that's pretty much what I have tied on. And I'm excited for July fishing, and I hope you guys are too. But other than that, let me know in the comments down below. What are you doing right now? Or what are you having prepared up that we're heading into July? Because I don't have a lot of friends on YouTube that talk about this stuff. I actually don't have anybody that talks about this stuff. So I'm talking about gears and tackle and things that I think I'm gonna use into July, because that's what makes fishing fun. When you get out there and you really think the night before about what you're gonna have rigged on, and get out there and then adjust as the day progresses, because it's all gonna be different, right? But I'm gonna talk about this week, and then once I get out there, I'm gonna give you guys another report, and continue with that report so I can produce more and more and more content for you guys, as you guys are fishing nerds just like I am. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you already made this far, might as well hit thumbs up and give this channel a like. Subscribe if you haven't. I know a lot of you guys aren't. Maybe you guys just like to not subscribe, but those of you who have subscribed, you are the best. Mwah. You are the best. Thank you for continuously supporting this channel. I've seen you guys been supporting this channel. I can actually see an icon on your username if you've been, following the channel for like 1 year and 2 years. So, holy crap, that's pretty cool that you guys been following this channel. And I hope that I'm making a good impact on you when you're bored watching this video, or whether you just want to watch some fishing content or whatever. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace out.